Who are we talking to?
Ourselves. Welcome back to the Mc&Marren podcast. We are continuing with Fandom Forensics, episode 6. We are talking about Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. But before we get into that, we want to make a special shout out to Fred and George Weasley because at the time of this recording, April 1st, it will be their birthday.
Happy birthday!
Feliz cumpleaños.
Let hijinks and merriment commence for your birthday.
Happy birthday!
All right, so let's get into it. So for those of you that do not know, why are you on episode 6? Go watch episodes 1 through 5. We will be talking about Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. We'll be talking about lore as well as plot holes.
But here's the key. We can't talk about anything we haven't previously discussed.
Which is good because we only have one more book that we can't talk about yet.
Yes. But so when we're addressing these plot holes, we are only addressing them with the knowledge that has been gained up to this point in the series. Nothing more.
Nothing less.
Well, possibly less.
Well, we can't really we can only talk about from Sorcerer's Stone all the way to now.
Yep. With that, take it away, Colin.
All right, what's the first question?
First one, the only big twins question I could come up with for this one, because the twins don't show up a lot in this one.
This is a very twin-low episode.
To be fair, this is the first time they haven't been at Hogwarts.
Yeah.
So their absence is very noteworthy.
Yep.
But the question is, they run a joke shop, which is all great. People need, laugh, have fun. Why are we selling love potions? Why are we selling love potions?
Why do stores sell vitamins that aren't FDA regulated?
Considering what we find out is, the backstory of Voldemort's conception in this one through love potion, you'd think those would be more regulated.
But they're not.
Nope.
I mean, that's morally dubious at best.
A lot of things that Harry Potter
assuming they
universe.
work.
Yeah.
That's assuming that it's entirely possible
It's
the
a
love
gimmick.
potion they sell don't actually work.
And it's also because it's Weasley Wizard Wheezes. Lord only knows if that's actually a love potion or if it's something to turn you into like a pygmy puff.
Well, also Professor Slughorn basically says it doesn't create actual love, it just creates deep infatuation with somebody.
Yes.
So
What if theirs doesn't even do that? What if it just gives you just uncontrollable burping for the next hour?
Yeah, I'm saying that since it's like a joke shop, maybe it's a fake love potion. At least that's what I'm going to hope, because I am in the realm of thought of Colin as those should probably be more regulated.
I mean, it could just turn your hair pink for a day.
Yeah.
So,
next section, because Half-Blood Prince is a very Draco-centric book and movie.
mm-hmm.
I thought I'd challenge myself and focus on some Draco-related questions. Did you know Malfoy in the films has a cumulative 31 minutes and 45 seconds of screen time?
Yes.
That seems low, but he is the highest-ranking non-trio student, but only by 1 minute and 30 seconds, beating out Ginny.
Yes.
Well, I mean, he's been the antagonist to Harry Potter for 5 years now. So it kind of makes sense.
Which, speaking of, why does everyone seem to forget that Malfoy is a, keeping it PG, massive jerk? For some reason, Hermione and Ron don't think that Draco might be up to something, especially after he, Crabbe, and Goyle attacked Harry at the end of the last book and sided with Umbridge of all people.
Okay. I can't defend the siding with Umbridge because that's not a good look for anybody. But I do feel like it is important to remind people that these stories are told from Harry's perspective. We only see Draco as a villain because Harry sees Draco as a villain. Why don't Hermione and Ron see him as much of a villain as Harry does? Well, Ron definitely is like, because Ron is Harry's best friend, so he's like, that's my boy, you're not going to say bad stuff to my boy. But for the most part, they don't have the same relationship with Draco that Harry does, because this is Harry's story.
What about that whole thing in the second book and movie
When all
where
of them are in
Draco
agreement-
called
Oh,
Hermione
yes.
a mudblood?
Hey, I'm not saying the guy's a saint.
Guy's a jerk.
I'm just saying.
Also, for those who are confused...
I'm just saying to answer the question as to why don't Hermione and Ron, why don't they believe it's that, Draco could be a bad guy? Because they don't have the same relationship with him. I mean, to Ron, he's an annoying slimeball, and to Hermione, he's an annoying slimeball who's also racist.
But in case anyone listening in...
And classist.
In case anyone listening in has not read the books and only seen the movies, at the end, near the end of the 5th book...
Order of the Phoenix.
After Malfoy, the father, gets sent to Azkaban for, breaking in, trying to kill
for doing
Harry.
all the bad.
Harry goes to talk to Hagrid, like he usually does, and gets basically jumped by Crabbe, Goyle, and Malfoy, who all try to kill him. And we're just supposed to forget about that, and Ron and Hermione know this happened. They came to his aid.
Yeah, but on some level, deep, deep, deep down, Hermione is probably thinking, what did Harry say this time? Because Harry, unfortunately, inherited his father's mouth.
Yeah,
we know he got his mother's eyes, but he got his father's attitude.
So did Draco. He inherited his own father's
yes,
self-righteousness.
But unlike James, Lucius can't fight. Draco and his family, it's all talk. They're the bullies who just use words. That's why he has Crabbe and Goyle. Because we never see, even in the books, we never see Draco actually throw a punch. Harry, we do. Harry is definitely the hit the bully first, ask questions later kid.
But to answer...
If he ever asked a question at all.
To answer Colin's question, though, from my opinion, I do not think we should, forgive Draco for pretty much everything.
That wasn't the question.
But, okay, what was the question again?
So why do Ron and Hermione think that Draco is suddenly not a problem?
Okay, I do not have an answer for that. I think Ron and Hermione should think Draco's a problem.
Especially because at the start of this book, he petrifies Harry and leaves him on the train with a broken nose.
Yeah. Yeah. And
no one was there to witness it, so it is allegedly. And and just saying, the amount of obsessiveness that Harry has about Draco, it's amazing that Ginny is even in his thoughts.
I just think that, Hermione and Ron should not, be quick to forget it. And it's just like, Ron has always hated the Malfoys because the Malfoys have always looked down upon his family.
Yes.
They see his father as less than just because he works, for some reason. And Hermione is seen as even lower than them because she is a mudblood. And it's just like, yes, Harry obsesses over what Draco is doing, but then again, with all the stuff happening in the years prior, with Lucius and all the other Death Eaters fighting against them in the Department of Mysteries the year prior, it kind of makes sense of why Harry might be a little bit going a little nuts trying to figure out what Draco's doing.
So counterpoint here. Because like I said, Ron and Hermione have their own issues with Draco. They have their own things. And you kind of said, Ron has always disliked the Malfoys. The Malfoys have always disliked the Weasleys. The Weasleys dislike the Malfoys. Okay? Well, since we all know that this whole thing, even at this point, it's already become very obvious that there are people, i.e. Death Eaters, who are going to make bad decisions. A war is coming. We know it's coming. It's been coming for the last 3 books.
Yep.
We know it's coming.
Voldemort's building his army.
Okay, so that is not, that's not knowledge we didn't already have. We already knew that. I think it probably is that last little bit of hope that it is not going to be so bad that it affects the children. Nobody expects the teenage son of a criminal to just start being a criminal one day. Nobody, like, if it happens, you're like, oh, we should have seen that coming. But you don't automatically assume that the son of a criminal is going to turn into a criminal himself.
No.
So could it be that while Ron and Hermione don't like Draco and they're like, yeah, he's bad news, but just leave him alone, let's go about our business, and maybe he'll just go away. Because they're like, he's not a Death Eater, Harry. He's not going to become a Death Eater. He's not... Isn't there a line where Hermione even says he's not smart enough to be a Death Eater?
To which I'm going to say that Peter Pettigrew is smart, so I don't know.
But, I mean,
Also, yeah.
I think it's that belief that, it's not... maybe they're holding on to the hope that things aren't going to be so bad that children are going to be becoming Death Eaters.
Maybe, but...
I think maybe that's the answer.
Maybe.
Also, Hermione and Ron are starting the school year off with, like, a pretty big responsibility.
Yeah, because they're both...
Hermione is head girl and Ron is head boy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that part.
And Miss Weasley has the wonderful line of, what is it? It's, almost everyone of her boys was head boy. And the twins go, what are we? Chopped liver? Because there was no way in Dumbledore's Hogwarts could Fred and George be head boy.
What do you mean Dumbledore's? McGonagall's
Yeah.
Hogwarts.
No way in McGonagall's Hogwarts is that going to happen. No.
No.
And that's actually something that's not talked about is like that Harry's a little upset that he's not chosen as head boy.
The thing is, when Ron opens his letter and it says that he's going to be head boy for the year, Hermione is surprised and then immediately back up, so like, oh, that sounds horribly mean.
Yeah, she's like, wow, that's a shock. Oh, I shouldn't say that out loud.
But if you really kind of think about it, that kind of makes sense because right in the first book, in the Mirror of Erised, Ron looks at himself and he says that he sees himself as
head boy.
Captain of the Quidditch team. He won the House Cup.
Yep.
So it's starting to look like that, what he saw in the Mirror of Erised is turning good.
Things are looking up for Weasley.
Things are looking up for Weasley.
And Weasley also gets a girlfriend, finally. But it's not one that we wanted.
Lavender.
Anyway.
In the words of Hermione, excuse me, I think I have to go vomit.
Alright, what's the next question?
Next. Draco's been sent to the school to do two things. Number 1, kill Dumbledore. Number 2, figure out a way into Hogwarts through the Vanishing Cabinet.
Yes.
Okay, but his main job, kill Dumbledore.
Yes.
Which, let's be honest, Voldemort doesn't expect him to actually do
No.
it. He's fully like, this kid
He is sacrificing him.
This kid is going to kill himself trying
He's
to
a pawn.
kill that man.
Yep.
But while he works on the Vanishing Cabinet throughout the year, which we get to see in the movie,
Yep.
he only tries to kill Dumbledore 3 times. The first with the cursed locket, which doesn't make it to him.
Fail.
Yep.
Second time with poisoned alcohol. Again, doesn't even make it.
Fail.
And then finally confronting him at the tower. Which,
Fail.
I'm sorry, Draco, everything's on the line. You should have tried harder than this.
So, have you heard the fan theory that, because we all know, Voldemort had to know, there was a slim to none chance that Draco was going to be successful in killing Dumbledore.
I mean, Dumbledore...
Slim to none.
Dumbledore held his own against Voldemort in the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah, slim to none. There's a fan theory that what is actually happening here is not Voldemort letting Draco into the inner circle of the Death Eaters. He's not welcoming him into his evil scheme.
He's punishing Lucius.
He's punishing the Malfoys for Lucius's failures. It's also why, because at this point, he's already broken Bellatrix Lestrange and friends out of Azkaban, proving he can do it. But he is perfectly happy to let Lucius stay there and think about what he did.
He lost the diary.
Mm-hmm. You lost the diary. You broke the prophecy. Now sit in jail and think about what you've done.
But going on to that whole thing, this school is a death trap. Okay? it just is.
I mean...
I could stage, as a muggle, I could stage an accident and kill Dumbledore.
It's amazing that honestly, the insurance premiums for this place have to be through the roof.
I mean, Dumbledore did say in the first book, the third floor is off limits for those who don't die a more painful death.
Yeah.
And then all the other wizard children are like, yeah.
Makes sense.
And then Harry's just like, what is going on in this school?
What kind of school? Or the one that would get me. Keep an eye on the stairs. They like to change.
What do you mean?
Okay, I am a person who I have walked up and down stairs while reading a book or doing something else many a time. Okay? How many bookworm Hogwarts students fell off a ledge because they were reading and walking at the same time?
You trip over flat ground.
Yes, I do. I also trip upstairs. It's quite amazing.
Yes, it is very a sight to behold.
But I'm just saying is that there are 1,000,010 things that could kill someone on accident at this school. Okay? I mean, hey, Fred and George, back in book 1. No one's died in years. Talking about Quidditch.
They will vanish occasionally.
But they turn up in a month or two. See, this is... How many twins references can we get in an episode where we're talking about the book with the least amount of twins?
Now, going back to what you were saying, though, about that fan theory that, Voldemort is using this as punishment for Lucius Malfoy, I would like to offer maybe another point of view. In this book, we learn about Horcruxes, and we learn that Voldemort split his soul into 7 pieces. Mm-hmm. And we also learn that Dumbledore is holding onto the Horcrux, a ring, that is slowly withering his body away. Or at least withering his hand.
Yes.
But is it possible that, Voldemort knew that somehow Dumbledore would be weak enough for even a pathetic weakling like Draco to kill him?
It's possible.
No.
No?
Voldemort's not that smart.
Also...
You know how I know Voldemort's not that smart? Because he tried to use a spell to kill a baby when there was a window right there.
Because he's tried to kill the same person for 17 years and nothing's taken. Also, we cannot use the... So, the curse on the ring is what's killing Dumbledore throughout the book. Just very, very slowly. But he did destroy the Horcrux in the ring.
Yeah.
We know that. But we have no evidence that that Voldemort would even know that the Horcrux was destroyed in this one, because that kind of ability wasn't entered into canon until book 7, when suddenly Voldemort had the ability to feel when the Horcruxes were destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Don't worry. I have a bunch of questions on why the Horcrux rules changed. Also, another question on Draco as a character. Does he fail to kill Dumbledore because he doesn't want to kill Dumbledore, because he's good at heart, or is he scared that he'll fail and get killed?
Both?
Both?
I was like, which do you think is... Do you think he's a good person, or do you think he's just really bad at being evil?
Both?
Both? Okay, so I'm going to go with... on some level, I don't think he wants to kill Dumbledore. Like, I don't think... Because, see, if his heart was in it, he wouldn't have failed the first 2 times. Like, if his heart was really in it, he would have put on his best slime ball smile, which we all know he has, and he would have taken that bottle of alcohol to Dumbledore himself as a start of the year or a Christmas present from the Malfoy family, because remember, the Malfoy family is on the board of governors. So, it wouldn't be too far-fetched to say the board of governors sent a gift to the headmaster and they asked their son, Draco, to deliver it for them. That's not too far-fetched. So if he really wanted to kill Dumbledore, I think he could have done it, but I don't think his heart was in it. And then on top of that, he knows, along with every other kid in that school, that Dumbledore has defeated Voldemort before. He defeated Grindelwald. He's considered the greatest wizard. And he's, like, all-powerful. So he doesn't really want to kill him. And if he fails, he knows there is a slim to none chance he's getting out of that astronomy tower.
From book 2 onward, we get the idea that Draco does not respect Dumbledore at all.
No.
Now, does he think he's powerful? Yes. Yes, he is. That's just a fact. But he also thinks he's a bumbling old fool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because Dumbledore does not ascribe to pureblood ideals.
Yep.
And also he gets in the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I don't know. I just don't see people who use this book as an example of, oh, he's good at heart because he didn't kill Dumbledore. Okay, that just proves he was incompetent, not that he was innocent.
So I do think, though, it's a little bit of both, because if Draco, like Tori said, if Draco really wanted to kill Dumbledore, he would have been, like, grasping at the chance to do it, like, from book 2 onward. Like you said, he sees him as a bumbling idiot. So he would have been, like throwing himself at every opportunity to try and kill Dumbledore. He could have been just, like, making himself like a death trap like the Joker does for Batman. Now, but because Draco is, he would have been doing that. So, like, the fact that he's taking so long to do it also sounds like his heart's not in it. Also, I know I said that I think Draco is a jerk and a pompous idiot, but I do think, though, a lot of that is because of the pressure of who his father is.
Yes.
Because the Malfoys always look down upon everybody else. They see them as, like, the best wizard family because they're pure blood and yada, yada, yada. So Draco, from day one, has had, like, an entitled sense of self just because of who his family is. But in order to keep that position, there's endless pressure from his father, because, like, in the second movie, when they're in the shop with the Weasleys and Draco's making fun of the Weasleys, he starts laughing, and then, Lucius puts his cane down in front of him, and he's like, Draco, play nice, and that shuts him up. And it's just like, that whole pressure from his father, as well as now that his father is essentially on the chopping block, he's kind of stuck. He's like, well, either I kill Dumbledore and my father's gone, I have to deal with the endless guilt knowing that I killed the most powerful wizard of all time just for my own selfishness, or if I don't kill Dumbledore, I could possibly be dead, or my entire family's also could be possibly dead. So Draco's in kind of a no-win scenario here.
Also, I will say, there is one saving grace for Draco's morality in this book. And that is, he doesn't kill Harry. Outright. Guy has him petrified. No witnesses. It's just 2 words. 2 words that he knows well. As doesn't kill him, so...
Which further strengthens the argument that he is trying to get back into Voldemort's good graces, because he has prime opportunity, no witnesses, no one would know, nothing. But do you want to be the person to go to Voldemort and say, hey, yeah, you know that kid you've been trying to kill for 16 years, 17 years?
He's dead.
I just killed him for you.
That would have been a one-way ticket to being dead yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like none of the Joker's henchmen can kill Batman because the Joker is going to, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be the Joker, and he will stop anyone who tries who's not him.
I mean, Harley Quinn got Batman in a death trap, and the Joker was so mad that it wasn't his death trap, he threw her out a window and actually got Batman out of the death trap. But anyway, sorry, did you have another thought?
So I was going to say, so that ultimately, that point just proves more of the argument that he's trying so hard to get his family back into Voldemort's good graces. That's why his heart's not really in it. He doesn't really care.
Also, in the movie, I don't know if it's referenced that well in the book, but in the movie, when Katie Bell comes out of being cursed from the necklace, and Draco sees her, he is racked with guilt to the point where he runs and just starts crying in the bathroom.
Is he racked with guilt, or is he worried she's gonna talk?
Both. Because, I mean, he looked, well, when he first sees her, he looks terrified. Like, she is probably going to rat him out. But then we see him the next scene, he's in the bathroom, and he's crying his eyes out. Because he felt so guilty that even though he was going to, it's like, even though he did that, he did not want any other people to get hurt.
Okay, moving on, because I couldn't think of a lot more Draco-centric questions. But more general questions. Why did Harry trust the Half-Blood Prince journal considering the events that happened in second year? I mean, on the one hand, I do get that Hermione's whole deal on trusting books after what happened, but I feel like a lot of this is her own jealousy of not being number one in class anymore.
Partially yes, but also partially yeah. Did you learn nothing from the second year, Harry? Oh, wait. You're Harry Potter. You have zero sense of self-preservation.
To be fair, this book doesn't write back to you.
Yes.
This book doesn't do that.
And he actually does a lot of the stuff in the book, and it actually works.
I will say,
Yo, better question. Harry has been sitting in Snape's potion class for 5 years now. 5 years, he has been watching Snape's penmanship on the chalkboard. He can't recognize handwriting? He's the chosen one? This is the chosen one?
I believe we've established he hasn't been paying
He's not
attention
smart.
in potions.
He doesn't pay attention in potions class.
But, and then, you know what, that also goes to, because I know Harry won't let her have the book, but, like, Hermione looks over his shoulder at one point, doesn't she?
Yeah.
So, she doesn't recognize... What, did Snape, like, write in the book with his left hand and writes on the board with his right? Like, what's going on there?
I mean, he could have...
It probably... It's more likely he enchanted the chalk to write what he was thinking.
He also could have just, because it's the Half-Blood Prince, he wanted to fancy up his handwriting a little bit.
So lame.
For kids. Yeah. No.
Also, question, Mr. Half-Blood Prince, Broody McBruderson of the Harry Potter universe. Obviously, Snape has been potions czar from day one.
Potions master.
Okay, he showed a proclivity for potions at a young age. He always excelled in potions. He was Slughorn's best student. He grew up, became potions master himself. Really good at what he does. Whoopee. Why did he let his old textbook go? Like, maybe it's just me, but okay. When I was in high school, I had a teacher who taught us how to annotate books. Okay? Most of the books I annotated, I do not have anymore. They promptly went to the garbage when I finished annotating them because I really, really hated it. And Mr. Balan, if you ever listen to this, I'm so sorry that you had to read my annotation notes, but that's on you. But I have a few a few copies of books from high school that I annotated that I like because I felt like I learned something or I felt like I got something out of it. So I keep my notes. I keep my annotations. Why did he let his notes go?
I think it's because for so long he's just been stuck as the potions master, despite him wanting to be the defense against the dark arts teacher, that he just kept it in the potions lab, double checking his past notes to be like, does this still work or do I need to update this?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And then when suddenly Dumbledore goes, oh, by the way, you're teaching defense, he's like, I do?
Finally!
Now?
And he's like, okay, I have to deal with Potter. That's a bad, but this is good. And he forgets his notes.
I feel like that's a plot hole because I just, like, it's like having a recipe that you have dog-eared a million times in a cookbook.
He might have better notes now. Actually, he probably does.
He probably kept, like, his own versions of those notes.
I don't think he should have.
Anyone else just picturing him checking out, like, brand new potions books with, like, this is wrong, that's wrong.
Oh yeah, he definitely. If the Wizarding World had a potions Wikipedia, he would be editing it.
Yep. He'd be like Weird Al.
But just another thing on the book before we move on to the next part. The only thing that's bad to happen with the book is Harry using Sectum Sempra, which that's not a fault of the book. That's a fault of Harry for using an unknown spell titled For Enemies without knowing what it does. And this is the deadliest Harry will ever get, and it's by accident.
Okay. I do not like Snape as a character. He is my least favorite Harry Potter character besides Umbridge and
He bullies
Voldemort.
children.
However, I do have to give him credit because not only is he a potions master, but he's a skilled enough wizard to invent a new spell.
Mm-hmm.
A spell that needs its own counter charm in order to survive.
Yep. And that he only knows the counter charm to.
Which, by the way, if you're J.K. Rowling, if you are listening to this, probably not, but if you are, I think a more, final nail in the coffin for Voldemort would have been for Harry to kill him with Sectum Sempra.
That would have
Yeah,
been
that would have been better.
That would have been a poetic justice.
That would have been a final, this is from Snape moment.
This is for Snape.
But do not name your son after him. That was stupid.
We can't talk about that. You have to wear the hat of shame.
Yeah, we're gonna have
You have to wear the hat of shame. It's not me this time.
Yep.
That was stupid.
You slipped.
Yeah, I slipped. That was so stupid.
Moving on. Did Dumbledore really need to waste so much time with the memories? He knew the answer, or at least heavily suspected the answer, so he just wasting time which he does not have, to do what? Show Harry that he screwed up with Tom and nearly screwed up with Harry? Oh, here's another parcel-tongue speaking half-blood orphan boy who I left to grow up in an unloving environment. That one didn't work out well. You're turning out pretty good, though.
I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to leave essentially a breadcrumb trail for Harry.
Dumbledore, you have known this boy
with what his plan is
for 6 years.
Because Harry knows that Dumbledore has a plan. We don't know what the plan is, but he knows there's a plan, and I think this is Dumbledore trying to give him some breadcrumbs to keep him on the plan.
Dumbledore, you've known this boy for 6 years now. He needs more than breadcrumbs. He needs full loaves, okay?
But also, isn't the whole idea to, for lack of a better word, to embellish Slughorn to Harry's presence to get the memory that Dumbledore needs?
Yeah. And I think Dumbledore suspects, but he doesn't know the truth. And the only person who knows the 100% truth is Slughorn, and Slughorn's not giving that up.
I mean, even the memory that Dumbledore has, it's wrong because Slughorn is so he's ashamed of what he said that that true memory is something that he was not going to give up willingly, and that only Harry can really get there because he's the most famous wizard of all time, and Slughorn values celebrity wizards.
Yes, he does.
So,
revealing Voldemort's unloving nature as the product of a love potion conception makes him less evil.
Does it?
how?
Does it?
I'll tell you why. It's like, okay, who's more evil? Someone who knows better and chooses to do worse, or someone who never learns because they can't?
So your argument is?
I think it's lazy writing.
I mean, yeah, it's lazy writing. But are you saying your argument is he gets a little bit of a pass? He does not get a get out of jail free card.
Oh no,
but he gets like okay, on one of your death sentences we might consider parole because he can't know love.
No, what I mean is that as a measure of someone's how evil they are, right? He doesn't become more evil than Umbridge just because he commits more murders than her, okay? But is like all she had to do was specify that the love potion just put him in a situation that it made it hard for him to learn. Not that he couldn't, but that it made it harder, and so he never did, which would have still put agency into his own actions.
I think the fact that, yes, it is lazy writing. However, he was conceived from someone using a love potion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that made it
Messed
up, and also harder to feel love. However, I haven't read the book in a long time, but at least from the movie, it kind of seems like, because Voldemort, or Tom, he likes to inflict pain onto others and steal whatever he wants, right? Dumbledore, lights his wardrobe on fire because there's a secret that Tom wants to get out, and it's that, he stole a bunch of toys from other kids in the orphanage. That is very antisocial / narcissistic behavior. That could have been just how his brain was wired, and the fact that he could not feel any emotion. Yeah, the love potion, his conception from the love potion may have, was like the final straw, but he could have always had that brain makeup to the point where he could not feel any sort of emotion for anything. Because, I don't know whoever actor who played young Tom Riddle is.
That's Hero Fiennes. However you say
Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes' nephew, Hero, who is currently playing young Sherlock on Amazon Prime.
But he did a great job as young Tom because he is terrifying.
Oh, he's.
So I think Tom.
He's now grown into an adult, and as an adult, he's still terrifying.
So I think Tom could have had the makings of essentially a serial killer.
Also, could we talk real quick about the brilliance of the casting Hero to play the younger version of his uncle?
Yeah.
Because the family features are there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, instead of finding a kid who looks...
Except the nose.
Where is your nose? Where is
Sorry,
your nose?
had to be done. Had to be done.
So that's one of those times where it was like, instead of just like searching the planet for a kid who looks like Ralph Fiennes, we just were like, nope, we're going to use that kid because he's related to you.
It's kind of like Kurt and Wyatt Russell.
Exactly. It's like, No need to reinvent the wheel, people.
But yeah, I do think though that Tom, summarize my point though. I think Tom had the makings to be a young serial killer because he does not feel empathy. He clearly shows that, and I think being deceived by a love potion was kind of the final nail in the coffin for making that be his personality. But I think he might have always had that in the back of his head, and all that combination together made it to be essentially the Hitler of the magical world. So.
Moving on a bit. So Horcruxes, right? This is the first time we get the actual word.
We get the name.
Horcruxes. They sound like a decent evil plan, but murder. That's the price for immortality. It's just killing one person. That's a little too low of a price. I'm sorry, especially if we have someone who is Wizard Hitler. No.
But
I'm sorry. Like, if we're going to say that the love that Harry's mother felt shielded him from the killing curse, okay, then emotions have to matter, right? Just killing someone at random should not be enough to splinter one's soul to make a Horcrux.
So I think this one can actually be answered outside of the Harry Potter universe. If you're looking into the bigger picture of the concept of magic, the law of equivalent exchange, a life for a life. I think that's more of how the Horcrux thing, because
Took us $5. We came all the way back to alchemy.
yeah, took us a while, but we got here. But I think what it is that, yeah, it's a life for a life, but it is a broken life for a life. It's not a complete and whole life. I mean, case in point, by the time
you lose your nose.
you lose your nose. You lose your hair. You lose your nose. You
Lose
get
your
weird, freaky eyes, which
Well,
is not discussed in the movies.
Actually, we know that I believe his new features are from the potion that brought him back and not how he looked.
It's still creepy.
But I'm not entirely sure.
But my point is that all these things that Voldemort did, which is very ironic because of what his career path was, everything he does to try to gain immortality and be the best wizard, everything we've seen, the Horcruxes, the potion that brings him back, the unicorn blood back in year 1, they all come at the price of not a full life. It is a fractured life. It is not true immortality. The only thing that could have given him the true immortality is the Philosopher's Stone, and we took care of that. That's no longer on the table. But everything he does is tainted with evil and black magic and things that are not going to ensure a happy ending. Like, even if everything had gone right for Voldemort, even if he had become supreme whatever he wanted to be, okay? Dumbledore is gone. Harry is gone.
None of the Horcruxes are destroyed.
None of the Horcruxes are destroyed. He got everything he ever wanted. Even if he got everything he ever wanted, his life would still be cursed because of how he went about doing it. Even if he got everything he ever wanted, it would still not be a happy ending for him.
It's kind of along the same lines of what the pirates did in the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, because they sought after this treasure for riches and for all that stuff, but it gives them a cursed life. And yes, while they're immortal, they cannot feel anything. It's essentially a cursed life.
Exactly.
So yeah, I do agree with Tori though, and also like she said, the rule of magic. Again, kind of a random thought that popped in my head, but in Hocus Pocus 2 of all things, when
We're just all over the board on
I know.
references
Way to
here.
go with this one.
we're all the border references, but when Winifred, I think is her name, the head sister.
Yes.
She cast that spell to the forbidden spell or whatever it's called.
Make her the most powerful witch in the
Yeah,
world.
but it comes at a price, and that price is she lost her sisters. And the rule of magic is you put in, you have to, in order to put in
Equivalent
something,
exchange.
it has to take something away. So in order to kill somebody, that takes away part of your soul and part of your life. So I do agree with what Tori said, that the Horcruxes are essentially, yeah, the idea that you can kill just anyone, but unless you're, it's like it's very hard to actually want. It's like we may say we want to kill somebody, but the act of actually killing somebody is a completely different thing.
What I mean is, I feel like if you're going to say, oh, you have to kill someone, but it has to be someone, there has to be emotion behind it. It can't just be anger, right? Like,
You can't just kill the hobo on the side of the road.
yeah. Or, like, has to be like, if Voldemort, like when Voldemort killed Myrtle. Myrtle was a classmate. There's at least something of a relationship here. Even if it's just, oh, I passed her in the hallway. There's something there. But if it's just, oh, there's this muggle I just randomly killed on the side of the road, that, I don't feel like that's enough.
But then again, Voldemort hates, muggles.
He hates everyone.
He hates muggles especially.
That's everyone. The only person he doesn't hate is a snake.
And himself.
No, I think he hates himself.
Alright, well, next question.
Last question I have for the night.
I think he hates himself.
Well, not much of a question, just a talking point. This is the first book we meet a vampire. He is at Slughorn's party. His name is... Did you know it?
I've slept since then.
Sanguini.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. That was lazy writing.
Which, okay, two things. Number one.
Lazy writing.
That name.
Number 1, lazy writing. Number 2, lazy writing. Number 3, go.
Okay, actually two. It might not actually be his name, and that's just the name that Slughorn calls him. And the guy doesn't care enough to correct him. But everyone knows about vampires in mythology. They are immortal. Hey, there's another option. Voldemort, there was another option than separating your own soul and placing it all over the place. Just get someone to bite you, and you're good. If you're going to say,
maybe he's squeamish.
if you're going to say, oh, but we have spells for that.
I would assume that vampires are a very rare phenomenon, even in the Harry Potter universe.
Phenomena.
But, I assume that vampires are a rarity in the Harry Potter universe, so it's just you can't just go out and find a vampire in the Yellow Pages.
I mean,
have you tried?
Have you?
No.
So
you would
there
think
you
the
go.
same thing with werewolves, but we meet, two of them.
Yeah.
Only one of them's evil.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of them is a Death Eater. But I don't think you want to broadcast that to the world.
But you know what? When we know there are a bunch of werewolves. And the only reason that any of the werewolves we will ever see are wizards is because it said that only wizards survive the transformation. And it's like, okay, so there are a lot of werewolves, more than we will ever see. There's one vampire. Just the one vampire.
Just the one.
Sanguini.
Sanguini.
And he is only here for the party.
Is he an
He will
Italian
not have-
vampire?
I hope so, because otherwise that's a missed
That
opportunity.
is really sad if you're not Italian.
I'm looking him up real quick.
Although that would really be bad if he was Italian, because Italians use a lot of garlic in almost everything.
Played by Charlie Benison. Sanguini, male vampire. So that's pretty much all we know.
Okay.
There's a picture of him.
All right.
But it's like, again, we are approaching war. War is on the horizon. It's in the next book.
And with the death of Dumbledore,
We will be seeing giants and elves and werewolves and all sorts of creatures, except for vampires. Which might just be that vampires don't care
Probably
because
not.
they're immortal anyway.
Yep. With the death of Dumbledore, war the sound of war has arisen.
It was a very sad moment.
Yep.
And that kind of leads us into next episode, Fandom Forensics, where when we close this out, will probably be our most sad episode.
Yep.
So many deaths.
So many deaths. So many deaths.
That were
And so many actors who are no longer with us, whose characters are no longer with us. So many deaths in and out of character.
Yep. But we are talking about Harry Potter, and since we have a few more minutes, the trailer for the new Harry Potter series on HBO Max was released this past week. I feel like we're going to have maybe another episode to kind of talk about what we thought about that trailer.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I think I speak for all three of us. You could have done something else other than just retelling the same story that we already know.
We were wanting Marauders.
You
I want Marauders.
could do Marauders. You could do a story taking place at Ilvermorny, or Beauxbatons, or Durmstrang, or Wagadu,
Or anything.
I don't remember the name of the one in, I believe it's Japan. I think it starts with an M.
Yep.
But, an entire world that just needs to be fleshed out.
Yeah.
Well, it's like we also had Hogwarts Legacy. That could have
Great game.
That could have been its own TV series in a nutshell, because it introduced how long ago before the events of
It's
Harry
like
Potter?
100 years or so.
So 100 years. 100 years before the Harry Potter series even took place. You could have had a lot of possibilities for storytelling, but nope.
You could have even done the Founders.
Yes. Or even a young Snape series, or a young Minerva McGonagall series. That would have been great.
Yeah. My main thing coming away from the trailer is the number one thing that came to my mind every time I see it, every time I see
The zipper?
Other than the zipper. Other than the zipper on Snape's wardrobe, which is eluding me. But no, my main thing that just makes my brain hurt is the kid playing Harry. He looks like Harry. He looks like Harry. He looks good. He looks too good. He looks like he's AI generated. Like, the kid has no flaw in his skin. He looks...
Like, you need to see him in person to make sure that you're actually looking at someone.
Like, he doesn't look real. He has... Like, his skin is perfect. His hair is perfect. He looks like he has no flaws. I don't think he's real.
Yeah.
My brain is like, yeah, that looks like Harry Potter. But then my brain's like, but too good a version of Harry Potter? Like, you're too perfect?
So it's pretty much like the Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
Also, I think...
I just need him to, like, gruff it up a little bit.
Also, this is no hatred toward the actor they have cast for him, but from what we saw so far, I don't think and Tori has a lot to say about this one, but the actor who's played Draco Malfoy, you are not as smarmy as Tom Felton.
I have hope for you. I think I see where you're going just from the stills that we've seen, but I need you to be smarmier. And in case you're wondering, what does that mean? I need you to look at Tom Felton first 2 years at Hogwarts, where every time you saw him, whether he was saying something or doing something or just standing in the background, had this look on his face that, yeah, he was smiling, but it just made you want to punch him.
Yeah.
Like, it's just an annoying, self-righteous,
little brat.
Bratty smile. I need you to do that. Once you get, if I can see that, I'm on board.
Yeah.
I need to see it though.
Speaking positively, the guy who's playing Dumbledore looks great.
John looks. Oh my, that is Dumbledore.
I mean, I will be honest. When they announced that John Lithgow was playing Dumbledore, we were like, really? This guy, I mean, the guy who voices Lord Farquaad is going to be Dumbledore?
Yeah, I don't think any of us were expecting what we're seeing now.
And then they released the photos of him on set, and it's just like,
that is Dumbledore.
This could work.
Like, no offense to who played Dumbledore the second time. Name.
He passed away last
yes,
year.
Name.
Colin's looking it up.
Thank you. But no offense to him, but when Richard Harris passed away after the second movie.
Michael Gambon.
Yes, no offense to Michael Gambon. Michael Gambon did a great job. He did a great job taking over the mantle after Richard Harris passed.
Which was a tough act to follow.
I mean, yeah, that is always a tough act to follow. But my big issue with Michael Gambon's Dumbledore was in the books we were constantly being told about Dumbledore's eccentric wardrobe. The moon-shaped glasses, the crushed velvet robes, the weird hat.
And they only gave Michael gray.
And they gave him gray and maybe a light blue.
Yeah.
But it's not, his wardrobe was not Richard Harris's Dumbledore's wardrobe. And I feel like for a lot of us, when we first saw Richard Harris's Dumbledore in the crushed velvet with the right spectacles and everything, we went, that's Dumbledore. And then we got Michael Gambon and we're like, that's Dumbledore's understudy. And now we're seeing it again with John Lithgow. And it's like, we don't, it's like our brains are just like, it's Dumbledore.
Yes.
Because he's got to have the rich robes. It's part of his character.
Another thing is, Richard Harris played Dumbledore like you start off seeing Dumbledore. Like the wise, grandfatherly figure that you can trust.
Yes.
But, and this is it's not being mean to Michael, but Michael's Dumbledore always felt like he had something up his sleeve.
Yeah.
Something he wasn't telling us. Which is why...
Which he did.
When it's revealed, oh, he's raising Harry for slaughter, which... If that's a spoiler, why are you listening to this? But... Yeah, it made it easier to understand. Whereas, if we had been in a timeline where Richard Harris had stuck with us for all the movies, that would have felt like a stab in the heart.
That would have been such a betrayal.
Yeah.
So I am interested. I'm interested. I mean, now we obviously, take the line from the Beetlejuice the musical. If I knew then what I know now, it's not going to hit as hard watching it this time around because we know how the story ends.
Yeah.
But if we had the same Dumbledore through the entirety of the story, I am interested to see how that will impact the viewers' feelings about it happening.
Yeah.
Case in point, we had the same Snape for all of Harry Potter.
Yep.
So when we lost Snape, it really hit home.
We had the same Hagrid throughout the whole series.
Yeah, and when anything happened to Hagrid, it always hit home. When Robbie Coltrane... I am still not over Robbie Coltrane. Okay, sorry. Tangential storyline about the day Robbie Coltrane died. Justin and I We're in Salem, Massachusetts. We were walking in the shops in Salem, Massachusetts, and
we were looking for something to eat.
We were looking for food. And I remember looking up and like looking down the row of shops in Salem and thinking to myself, this is what shopping in Diagon Alley must feel like. This is as close to a real life Diagon Alley as you're going to get. I remember, and I told you that.
Mm-hmm.
You turned to talk to your family to talk about what we were getting for food.
Yeah.
I looked down at my phone because I got a text message, and it's my mother telling me that Robbie Coltrane has died. I have just entered a place in the real world that felt like walking into Diagon Alley, and my Hagrid died. That is not okay.
Knife, heart, twist.
I am still not emotionally recovered from that.
Yeah. Actually, that's brings up another point. I swear, in the new Harry Potter trailer, they have the guy who plays Hagrid. No hatred towards him. You know,
Nick Frost.
We only saw him in a few scenes. He looks good as Hagrid, but I swear they use the exact same wardrobe. Like his costume, it's essentially the same as it was in the movie.
No need to reinvent the wheel.
Whereas like everyone else got different costumes, but Hagrid got the same.
No, McGonagall did not get the same wardrobe because that outfit we saw her in is not McGonagall's wardrobe.
I'm saying that like
Maggie Smith would never.
Each character got a different costume from the movies.
And they did.
And whereas Hagrid kind of like it's Nick Frost wearing Robbie Coltrane's costume.
Yeah. But at the same time, what else are you going to put Hagrid in? I mean, Hagrid's look is the giant oversized brown coat.
The only thing I feel holding the new series back is that Harry Potter is so well known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whereas when the Percy Jackson TV show came out, not everyone had read Percy Jackson.
Yeah.
So there were people watching the show and seeing all of it for the first time, and they were surprised by plot twists and all that.
I do think you're right. That is going to be the problem the series is going to have.
Yeah. But we also got to remember, you know, we were the ones that grew up on the movies and the books. There's a whole
and the
new
spoilers. Oh
And
my
the
goodness.
Yeah.
The spoilers.
And the spoilers.
Okay, all right.
Spoiler
Let me let you finish your statement, and then I'm gonna ask a plea of the audience.
You know, that was 20 years ago.
La, 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 la.
You know, that's, you know, it's like, yeah, we say that, we always look back, it's not that far ago, but that was 20 years ago. I mean, it's been 20 years since the last movie came out, or at least almost 20 years. And it's just like...
No, it hasn't.
I said almost.
No, it hasn't. The last movie did not come out in 2006.
No, you're right. But, it's been over 20 years since the first movie started.
There you go.
Sorry.
Stop making us older than we are.
But my point being is that, you know, there's a whole new generation that has not read the books, has not seen the movies, or at least have not read the books and seen the movies and know how much of an impact this had. So this is like this generation's Harry Potter, which is not, you know, it's like, yeah, we can be disappointed about it, but this is not our Harry Potter.
So to that end, I'm going to piggyback off that because it's kind of where I wanted to go with my statement, is that for this new generation, you know, the generation Alpha and Beta that are coming up, the kids of today who have not read Harry Potter yet, maybe have not seen the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Let's, as a community, you know, generations, Boomers, X, Millennials, and Z, let's all have some responsibility and not spoil too much. Don't be too much of a spoiler, and let them enjoy it for themselves.
Also, let's not hate on any of the cast for
just
existing, because the majority of the cast, they're children.
Yeah.
The majority of the cast are children. So it's not like it. Let's not have another Jake Lloyd situation, okay?
Yeah. And earlier when I'm giving those comments about the kid playing Harry Potter, you look too perfect, and the kid playing Draco, you need to be smarmier. Those are not me hating on you guys. That is just my critique. Take it with a grain of salt. You don't even have to take it. You can just be like, I don't even know this person. Her opinion means nothing. She's just a random person talking on the internet. In which I actually hope you do take it that way, because you guys are going out there and you are portraying characters in a way that not a lot of people can do. You're going into a very difficult profession at a very young age. And so let's try to support these actors.
Yeah.
So when we critique things, let's critique them with, comparison, grain of salt, as we can.
Yeah. It's essentially, we can be disappointed with them remaking the story. We can just be disappointed with how the production handles certain things and stuff like that. But we're not throwing hatred or anything like that towards the actual actors in the series, because they're just portraying the characters as they were told by the director and the cast and crew.
Colin.
So, Colin.
And with that, I think we can close by saying we just wish them luck.
We just wish them luck. Join us next week. So here we're going to be in the month of April, and at the start of April we have the brand new Mario movie coming out.
Super Mario Galaxy, the movie.
So join us next week when we talk about the animated Super Mario Brothers first movie.
Yes. Not the Super Mario Brothers movie from the 1990s.
Once again, happy birthday to the Weasley twins. May all your Aprils be fools.
And we will catch you next time.
Bye.